Unit 1, Week 5 is the grammar week for this week. And this week is all about run-on sentences and fragments, but how to fix them. So let's review and talk about what a sentence fragment is and what a run-on is. So if you look at your screen here, a sentence fragment would be part of a sentence. Maybe it's just the subject, Sheila. Or maybe it's just the predicate, like we have here, rented a car. A run-on sentence is where you take two sentences or more and you put them together, but you don't have the right punctuation. Either you need a period in the middle, or you need a comma and a conjunction, or you need a semicolon. Somehow you have to separate those two thoughts. You have too many thoughts in one spot. So let's see if we can determine which ones are sentence fragments and which ones are run-on sentences. This sentence says, can eat a restaurant tonight? Well, I hope you're not going to actually eat the restaurant. And it doesn't have a subject, and it's also a little bit unclear. This is a fragment. It's missing a subject, so it goes in the fragment category. I'll do the dishes, you'll do the cooking. Here's how to know if it's a run-on sentence. Listen for a spot you might pause and start a whole new thought. I'll do the dishes has a subject, I, and what she's doing, the dishes. So I'll do the dishes, you do the cooking has two sentences in it, so it's a run-on. Oop, and it took it, so you're right. I made lasagna, we will have leftovers. Two thoughts there. See that I made lasagna? That's one thought. We will have leftovers, second thought. So that goes in the run-on sentence too. Turning in your paper. Well, who's turning in your paper? Is John turning in your paper for you? Are you turning in your paper? There's no subject here, so that's also a fragment. So now you have the chance to decide which you think are fragments and run-ons. So I'll read the three to you and then give you a chance to think about it, and then you can check it with me here. After we traveled to Jupiter is our first one. I love Harry Potter, he is a wizard. And we have took place high on a hill overlooking a garden. So check those out, see if you have any decisions there. After we traveled to Jupiter, I love Harry Potter, he is a wizard. Took place high on a hill overlooking a garden. The first one is, not a run-on, a fragment. It's missing the rest of the sentence. After we traveled to Jupiter, well then what? What's going to happen next? Here, I love Harry Potter, he's a wizard. Now we have a run-on. I love Harry Potter, one complete thought. He's a wizard, second complete thought. Took place high on a hill overlooking a garden. That's a fragment. We don't know what took place. There's no subject there. What took place on the hill? It does give you some other descriptions, but it's missing the subject. So the first page in your grammar material for today, you need to determine if things are fragments or run-ons. Now, as you look ahead, we're going to talk about fixing sentences with fragments and run-ons. Sometimes they'll give you a subject and you need to add a predicate. Sometimes they give you a predicate and you need to add a subject. What about this one? Around the corner to the left. Well, there's no subject. We don't know who's going around the corner to the left. But also, do you know what they're going to do when they go around the corner to the left? This sentence has what are called prepositional phrases. Around the corner is a prepositional phrase. It tells you where something is. It's around the corner. It also tells you to the left. To the left is another prepositional phrase. Both of those give you information, but they're not predicates. So this sentence actually needs both a subject and a predicate to give you the most information. The museum was far away, I lost the directions. This kind of sentence is a run-on because it could be separated right here. The museum was far away. So to fix it, you might want to make it a compound sentence. That would be an option. So let's talk about how to do that. How do you make compound sentences if it's a run-on? And how do you make separate sentences? So if you want to fix a run-on sentence, you have three main options for us. You can make separate sentences. So here we have, the debate is over, it's time to vote. I could put a period in between. That makes it 2 separate sentences. Don't leave the light on or you will be in trouble. Oh, there's not an or in there. So let's put one. Don't leave the light on, comma, or you will be in trouble. Remember, to make a compound sentence, you need the comma and the conjunction. You could also choose to try to make a complex sentence. That's one that uses one of those fancy conjunctions. The sun went down, I used sunscreen. You could change it to, I used sunscreen until the sun went down. Or you might want to say, until the sun went down, comma, I used sunscreen. Remember, we can put that fancy conjunction in the middle with no comma, or we can put it at the beginning with a comma. One of the pages that you'll be working on this week has run-on sentences, and then it tells you how it wants you to separate them. If it wants you to be separate sentences, or if it wants you to have a compound sentence or a complex. So let's talk about how you're going to do that. Amanda was the lead vocalist in her band. It was a rock band. So look for where your separate sentences are. Amanda was the lead vocalist in her band is one sentence. The directions say it wants me to make separate sentences. So I'll have Amanda was the lead vocalist in her band. Separate sentences means I need a period or some type of other punctuation mark like that, like an exclamation point. And then a new capital letter. It was a rock band. Period. So I made 2 separate sentences with the run-on that was there. The next sentence, though, says it wants me to make it complex. So I need to make one long sentence that uses one of those fancy conjunctions. So let's see what I have. It was wonderful weather on Monday. The boy flew the kite outside. I might start with the second part of this sentence, and I'll show you why. The boy flew the kite outside, and I'm going to use the fancy because it was wonderful weather. Oops, wonderful weather on Monday. So remember, if you use the fancy conjunction in the middle, no comma. Sometimes you might want to start with the words at the beginning of the sentence. Sometimes you might want to start with the simple sentence at the end. So watch for that part. Let's try one more. This one's going to be a compound sentence. I'm redecorating my room. I ran out of paint. Now, compound sentence needs a comma and a conjunction. I'm redecorating my room. Maybe I'll just add it in up here. I'm redecorating my room, comma, and I ran out of paint. Now, really, this would make a better complex sentence. I'm redecorating my room because I ran out of paint. So make sure you look at what kind of sentence they want you to make, and you'll need to do that on your page that's for day 3. Then you get some proofreading practice, which is always great because when you write your own pieces, you'll need to make sure that you can find your mistakes in them. So let's look for some complete sentences and maybe some run-ons and fragments and see if we can fix them. We are redesigning my bedroom. Has yellow polka dots on the wall and baby unicorns. My mom is taking me to the store to pick out paint. We also need to look for a new comforter. I like blue, but I also like green, and I can't decide which color I should pick. My friend Sarah says I should make it pink. Her room is pink. I don't like pink. What do you think? Whoa. So, we're redesigning my bedroom. Simple sentence, introduces what the paragraph's going to be about. Has yellow polka dots? We're missing a subject, though. So we need something like it. Something like that. It has yellow polka dots on the wall. Or it has what yellow polka dots on the wall. Or the room right now currently has. My mom is taking me to the store to pick out paint. We also need to look for a new comforter. Lots of thoughts right there. My mom is taking me to the store to pick out paint. Period. we also need to look for a new comforter. Remember, one way to fix run-ons is to make separate sentences. You could also do a compound or a complex sentence here. You have some options. I like blue, but I had to pause for a second, so let's restart the I like blue. I like blue, but I also like green, and I can't decide which color I should pick. That's also a run-on. Remember, if we're using but to join two sentences together, here we have I like blue. I also like green. There's two sentences. We need a comma. So I'm going to put a period here and then read it to you. I like blue, but I also like green. And we're just going to take out the and. Sometimes what starts to happen in some people's writing, not everyone has this, but some people use a lot of ands and they end up with a lot of run-on sentences. Sometimes you can just take out the ands and have some more simple sentences. You might be someone where the opposite problem is happening though. You have all simple sentences, which tend to be short and kind of sounds choppy, and you maybe want to add in some ands. I like blue, but I also like green. I can't decide which color I should pick. Good so far now. My friend Sarah says I should make it pink. Her room is pink. I don't like pink. Too many thoughts again. My friend Sarah says I should make it pink. Period. Her room is pink. Maybe I'll do a compound sentence here because I still have a run-on. Her room is pink. I don't like pink. It's two sentences. Her room is pink, but I don't like pink. What do you think? What color should I pick? Or should I keep my baby unicorns? I don't actually have baby unicorns on my wall. So listen to the whole paragraph now. We are redesigning my bedroom. It has yellow polka dots on the wall and baby unicorns. My mom is taking me to the store to pick out paint. We also need to look for a new comforter. I like blue, but I also like green. I can't decide which color I should pick. My friend Sarah says I should make it pink. Her room is pink, but I don't like pink. What do you think? Once you've made corrections, whenever you proofread, or whenever you do any kind of editing or revising, make sure you go back and reread what you changed. Sometimes you might change something and not like how it sounds, or you realized you made a lot of repeating words. So go back and check that first. This is going to be in the next video. It has some simple sentences in it, and we're going to try to turn it into compound and complex. I had mentioned on the last slide, if you have too many simple sentences, sometimes it sounds a little choppy. So we're going to talk about that in video 2.